Welcome back, and welcome to Season 2 of the Physics of Gamification. It feels good to be back behind the mic, or in my humble recording setup, surrounded by laptops, cables, and too much coffee. If you're new here, this is where we take the laws of physics and use them to decode hidden mechanics of gamification. And if you've been here since Season 1, thank you. I've missed this space. We are starting this new season with movement, literally, because today's topic is fluid dynamics, how motivation travels through a system across people, teams, and roles. In nature, fluids don't sit still. They move, adapt, find paths of least resistance. Motivation behaves exactly the same way. You can trap it in one department and expect it to stay pure. If you can't move, it stagnates. If you can't connect, it evaporates. Let's explore how to design systems where motivation doesn't just exist, it flows. In fluid mechanics, pressure always seeks balance. Push too hard in one area, the energy escapes somewhere else. Gamification often forgets this. We pour energy into one group, sales for instance, and wonder why operations or support feels dry. Motivation leaks. It's not that people don't care, it's that their part of the system doesn't receive the same current. You can't gamify one node and call it a culture, because if engagement accelerates in one area while others slow down, the whole system destabilizes. The truth is, motivation has to circulate. It's not about making everyone competitive, it's about making everyone connected. Real flow happens when energy moves across, not just down the hierarchy. Let me give you a story, one that doesn't sound like a case study, but a small wake-up call. A service company I worked with gamified its field teams. Points for speed, accuracy, happy customers. And it worked beautifully for a while. Until the coordinators started breaking under pressure. The field was racing ahead, but dispatch was overloaded. Reports piled up, communication jammed. It wasn't failure, it was turbulence, one layer of the flow accelerating while another stayed still. The fix wasn't to slow the field team down, it was to extend the system, to include dispatchers in the same motivational circuit. Once they had their own recognition loops, the flow stabilized, the energy balanced again. That's fluid dynamics in action. When one layer moves, the others must move with it, or the system rips itself apart. When we think about motivation, we tend to build containers, programs, tools, departments, timelines. But motivation doesn't thrive in boxes, it thrives in currents. If you are designing a gamified system, think like an engineer mapping rivers, not walls. You don't build one big reservoir of excitement. You create tributaries, channels, cross flows. A good system connects these channels with visible pressure points, shared progress bars, cross-department milestones, ripple effects that one team can start and another can finish. These aren't just features, they are bridges. While designing gamification, we often design programs where different teams play different missions, but every mission contributes to one shared objective. That's what creates momentum, not isolated engagement, but synchronized motion. That's how motivation flows like water, not electricity. But here's the catch, you can't force flow. You can't push motivation from one group to another like you are pumping water uphill. It has to find its natural path, and that means acknowledging that each role has its own terrain. A warehouse team might crave recognition for precision. A sales team might need momentum and rivalry. A support team might thrive on empathy and closure. One size doesn't fit all. Good systems allow for local personality, Customized missions, tailored language, different rhythms, while keeping everyone inside the same motivational ecosystem. That's the design sweet spot, a system that flexes without fracturing. If Season 1 taught us the engagement can collapse under its own weight, Season 2 begins with the idea that engagement can also spread, if you let it. Motivation isn't a resource to distribute evenly, it's a force to circulate intelligently. When one person's spark lights another's progress, when a small win in one corner of the organization ripples outward, that's when systems stop feeling mechanical and start feeling alive. And that's what we'll explore all season long. How systems move, how people influence one another, how culture itself behaves like a network of energy. Because physics has always been about motion, and gamification has always been about meaning in motion. So, now season 2 officially begins. We are back, flowing stronger than ever, with new metaphors, new mechanics, and soon a new format. As always, this show stays low budget and high idea. No studio polish, just real insights worth your attention. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with someone whose team feels a little stuck, and maybe they'll realize the problem isn't motivation itself, but how it moves. Thanks for listening. This is The Physics of Gamification. I'm Hakan Uzer, co-founder of Motivacraft. See you next time.